19 seconds to go. Give me a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Welcome to Loveline. Loveline is meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised.
I don't approve of it.
Loveline. The world's therapy couch since 1984. Loveline. Dr. Drew Pinsky. Medical doctor, philosopher, philanthropist, certified addiction specialist, the king of transformational media. Loveline. Mike Catherwood. A former addict, current fitness guru, the ringmaster of a psychosexual addictive personality big top.
Loveline.
1-800-LOVE-191.
Just get on with it.
Oh, yes. It's Loveline. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. Anderson, that might have to be a new tradition. I'm going to start every show as Glenn Danzig. From here on out. Like we have our official sign-off, we're going to have our official sign-on. It's Loveline. All right, big show tonight, Dr. Drew. First off, welcome back to the studio.
Thank you.
It's great to have you.
It's great to be
And I'm
here.
not just saying that. It's feel there's a certain comfort that comes with you being back here in the studio.
My schedule was insane the last 4 days.
It was a little too much
Oh,
for your mental health. It was too much.
it was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, flying to Sacramento, driving to Chico, driving to San Francisco, flying to New York. It was,
How was the performances with Corolla though?
I didn't do that. That wasn't this weekend. That was a week ago. That was Salt Lake City and Las Vegas.
Yeah, but then wasn't Redondo like?
That's next week.
Oh, okay.
Redondo's next week. So please, people, do turn out in Redondo. At the Redondo Performing Arts Center. Me and Corolla will be there live and in person. So check that out.
So Dr. Drew back in the studio, which is great news for everybody involved. And then later tonight, we want to talk about swinging during the open forum. Swinging. A lot of people are part of the lifestyle. Some of you are curious. We want to know, swinging, have you, would you? Either of the two. Call us up and let us know about that during the open forum. And we're very excited because a man who is almost impossibly talented and one of the nicest men in rock and roll. Would you agree, Dr. Drew?
Agreed.
Just a totally nice guy. He is now an author as well as being a full-fledged rock phenomenon. I'm talking about Davey Havoc. Pop Kids, the new book. Normally, Drew, I'm a lot of things, and most of them bad. But one thing I am good at is making sure that I'm prepared no matter who the guest is. I actually went out of my way not to research the book too much because I wanted to hear Davey describe it. I was curious to hear his motivation and kind of the content. So I'm going into this fresh.
Okay.
Davey Havoc is our guest tonight. He'll be joining us very soon. Right now, your calls on anything. 1-800-LOVE-191, the number. Christine, start us off.
Hi, I have a 5-year-old that we were having a conversation about how the word sexy is inappropriate to use at school. And
Did you say, I'm sorry, Christine, did you say sexting?
Sexy.
Sexy.
Okay, and he's 5?
Yes.
Okay.
He or she?
And she.
Okay.
And then it turned into the word sex, and I asked her what did she think it meant, and she said when two people are humping like you and my dad do when you think I'm sleeping.
Oh! Uh-oh.
So I don't know how to...
Has she ever been in the same room when you guys are doing that, to your knowledge?
Yes, but sleeping...
No, that you never... No, don't ever do that. The kids are not asleep when you're having sex. Come on now.
Like that's cool to do to a certain age, though, right, Drew? Like
yeah, 6 months.
Yeah, okay.
Even then, not a great idea. So, isn't that interesting? How old is she now?
Excuse me?
How old is she now?
5.
And when was the last time she was in your bedroom?
Probably about a year ago.
Oh my.
And I asked, well, where did you hear that? Where do you think that? Like, did it come from anywhere? And she just said no. And then she didn't really want to talk about it.
Right, because I'm sure she saw you react. Personally, it may not amount to anything, but I personally, if it were my kid, I would talk to the pediatrician and think about getting somebody to evaluate just to see. It probably isn't anything that, humans have had this kind of proximity with parents for thousands of years. Probably not a big deal. Not advisable, though. Not advisable. Where did you get the idea that was okay?
I just, you figure they're sleeping and...
No.
didn't
No,
really think.
that's ridiculous.
Okay,
Well,
Chris-
get that whole notion out of your head about kids. They know and see everything. They intuit it. They sense it. They wake up for things. They believe me. They know everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
All right.
should I be concerned? Is there anything that I should say, or should I
No, just say that it's give her ample opportunity to ask you questions. Just keep asking. Do you have any questions about this? Anything you want me to explain? I can, I'm here to talk to you about it. Be very open-ended, but don't get into giving her a plumbing lesson. That's your crap. You just leave it as an open-ended thing she can come to you about. But as I said, I would talk to her pediatrician for sure.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Thank you. Let's see. It's weird, Drew, because I feel like so between a rock and a hard place in that kind of the quality to which I do my job as a radio personality involves me having opinions.
Yeah.
I mean, I really can't puss out too much and
All
not
right.
have an opinion. But like, if you don't have kids, like I do not have kids,
Yeah.
I feel like it's impossible for me to give an opinion without
No, you
looking like a
can.
giant asshole.
No, you can.
know?
What do you want to say?
Well, it's just. I would assume, like, here's my thing. I don't have kids, but I would like to say, if I did, I would just assume they will figure stuff out.
Yeah.
And so play it safe and not expose them to anything.
Right. Be very.
As opposed
you have to
to-
be super duper honest and clear with them because they'll know, and everything that happens, they will feel responsible for. Everything.
Right. Like as opposed to, I just assumed they were asleep when I had sex with my husband in front of her. I would say, I'll just assume that she'll be able to figure something out, so let's just not.
Yes.
It's, people are like, well, my son was only 1 when I smoked weed in front of him.
Or when I beat up my husband, he
Yeah.
wouldn't remember that.
I just
No.
assumed he would not understand the difference between a cigarette or weed at 1 year old. I'd be like, I just assume he could, so let's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
What he would find, no, what he would see is an intoxicated parent, and that would freak him out emotionally.
Yeah.
They operate on a feeling level. They feel everything, and they don't have words for it. They don't have a cognition for it. They just experience it.
that's what I tell my wife about talking poorly about our dogs in front of them. She's like, they can't understand. I was like, but what? Let's just assume they can. So let's speak positively. Chris, hello. Thank you for calling Loveline.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Drew.
Hey.
My question is just concerning. Well, for the past 2 years, I've been fairly depressed, and at the same time, I've been smoking. Well, a fair amount of weed for me. I have zero tolerance, so basically, I can make Okay, this has nothing to do with it. Never mind. Point is,
No, it kind of does. I mean,
might.
you're 16. It does really kind of matter how much, right, Drew?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, my tolerance is practically zero, so I can make a dime last me 2 weeks.
so
and-
you're smoking a gram every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's really not that much.
I know exactly, but I managed to get really actually pretty high off just a
No,
tiny,
I know,
tiny-
and that's fine. I mean, I'm not picking on your tolerance. What I'm saying is that if you have a question as far as the medical ramifications of something, that's a pretty small amount, So
Yeah,
that's a good thing,
exactly.
I guess. Go ahead.
That's and I don't even buy it half the time. I just get smoked out. I mean, half the time I'll just ask for 2 hits, and that's all it does to me, and that's all I pretty much need. But that's not the point. The point is, just what are the ramifications to smoking? This is extreme depression. It's extreme anxiety, extreme depression. I just don't. I know weed can't be helping me in any way. but
Right.
I
Do you feel like it helps when you do smoke it, and then it gets worse afterwards? Is that the deal?
actually, no.
So why do you
That's the
smoke
thing.
it? Why do you smoke
That's a good. There's something that it does that allows me to ignore something that I can't exactly explain. I mean, I should know. It probably is regarding. I have kind of a fear of people in a way. I just can't really talk to them
Okay.
so much.
You seem to be doing
And-
quite well with us, interestingly.
Yeah.
But why don't
I'm
you go get this
Slowly
treated?
freaking out, but yeah.
Why don't you get this treated?
I don't know. I just never really brought it up to myself. I mean, I just trying to get myself to call for the past few weeks. And I
Okay,
just
but here you are
couldn't.
now. Here you are, and you realize, people don't treat themselves. That's not a
Yeah.
treatment. And the stuff you've been trying to do in order to survive and feel better isn't working. You go to your doctor and say, "Hey, I'm suffering. What can we do about this?"
Yeah, it's true. Well, I'm pretty good at not smoking, but at the same time, it seems like
I don't
around
think this
me-
is about the weed. This is about your
the
depression and
depression.
anxiety.
Yeah, and I would venture a guess, Chris, and look, I'm not the doctor here. Definitely always listen to Dr. Drew, but as a guy who's kind of been down this road, I used to do tons of drugs because I was a super depressed guy, thinking that would help, and it didn't, but I continued to do them anyway. And I had a great tolerance, so I'm not trying to draw correlation between you and me at 16. But what I found out, and it took me 20 years, is that I was treating my anxiety, not my depression. They're two separate things. A lot of times they can have this little Venn diagram area, but I used to really enjoy using stimulants and drinking and drugs because it would take care of my anxiety. In fact, it was probably amplifying my depression. But for a good, hour to 2 hours, I could feel like I belonged in society as opposed to being scared by society.
I see.
That
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, anxiety's tough, especially you're 16 to 22 is when it really comes on. So get it treated, my friend. There's good treatment out there.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell us how it goes, Chris. Okay.
All right. Take care of Seattle for us. Davey Havoc joining us very soon. Right now we're talking to Bill. Bill, hello. Bill, hello.
Bill and Whittier.
Yes.
Go.
Can you hear me?
Go.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I just wanted some advice or your guys' opinion on just how to deal with my girlfriend's roommate. I was visiting because we're in it for the week for spring break, and I was there for the week. It's a long distance relationship, so I'm not really there much. And I guess her roommate was sleeping. They share a room, and the room's like the master bedroom, so like the shower is all like in the same.
Bill,
room.
please. What can we help you with?
So I just want to see how I can deal with her, or not I personally, but I guess my girlfriend, because it's awkward between her and her roommate. So she heard us having sex while we were in the shower, and she woke up and she was sleeping. I guess she woke up. The next day she confronted us and she said that she didn't really want us to sleep in the room, even though she's pretty much kicking my girlfriend out of her own room.
Bill, is your girlfriend's roommate an adult as well?
Yes.
How old is your girlfriend?
She's 20, and so is her roommate. And
Okay.
I'm 22.
Your girlfriend should tell her roommate to suck her proverbial pee-pee.
To suck her what?
Listen, Bill, I'm saying it's none of her goddamn business. So she didn't like. Yeah, out of kindness, maybe to be a little bit more appropriate roommates, you guys shouldn't have loud sex to let her hear. But if she doesn't like it, F off. It's not. She's not her mom. All right, Drew, you agree, right?
I do agree.
Okay. Thank you, Bill. 1-800-LOVE-191.
The problem is they're caving to her. They're so embarrassed. Oh, I know. No, it's like, yeah, sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. We're adults here. I'm sorry.
It's so funny.
Mistake.
We took a call from a 16-year-old kid who was concerned about his ability to socialize and to speak properly, and his problem was weed, according to him.
And by the way,
he was eloquent, to the point, and well-informed. Bill, 22, not calling about anything having to do with eloquence or the ability to talk, can't get a goddamn point across, and marble mouth. I don't understand. Dr. Drew. You know what I do understand?
What?
Davey Havoc.
Yeah.
Davey Havoc.
Here he comes.
Black Audio, AFI. He is now an author. Pop Kids is the book, and he is a very good dude. I know he has tons of fans out there. He's joining us now here on Loveline.
Don't worry. Loveline will return right after these words of wisdom.
You mean more advertising?
Yes.
1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. This man needs no introduction to rock and roll audiences around the world, but he is getting his introduction as an author, and I'm sure he'll be a great one. He is a creative mind, and he is certainly a likable man. I'm talking about the one, the only, Davey Havoc.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you for coming in, as
Thank
always.
you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. Tell us about really diving into the world of being an author.
Writing is something that I've always enjoyed, and writing a novel is something that I've wanted to do since I was very young. I never really had the expertise to move towards doing anything nonfiction. That would just be a disaster. And with the exception of writing about myself, which would be terribly boring and tiresome and not something that I would really want to do.
Well, it's funny you should say that, and I'll let you continue talking about Pop Kids, which is the new book by Davey Havoc. But I would imagine you get an you scratch that autobiographical itch with your music a lot.
Very much so, but it's less involved. It's not 346 pages of me. It's little bits, and you don't have to pay attention to the words if you don't want to in a song. You can just grab onto the melody. But whereas if you're sitting down and just immersing yourself in me, it would probably be less entertaining.
Sure,
I think definitely.
Yeah, it depends. When so many people hang on your every word in your music, in every band that you've been in, and every act you've been a part of, I found like it almost would be a burden to try to write something autobiographical because kids especially might take it too literally.
It also probably ruin everything.
You think? Like the mystery be gone?
My personal life I really like to keep to myself, so that's also a part of the reason that I've never really considered writing volumes and volumes of my life or my history. But also because I just don't find it that terribly interesting. Someone else might, but I don't. I think certainly the lives of the Pop Kids are more intriguing than my own.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about it. Tell the Pop Kids themselves.
Well, so the story is about a young boy who starts throwing underground parties for his friends the summer before his 18th birthday and the summer before his senior year in high school. And he lives in a small Northern California town in isolation, and the parties start to spiral out of control. And it's a very poppy novel. It's filled with pop references, everything from video games to fashion to social media to sex tapes to online porn to pop stars, fashion models. Katy Perry acts as a totem to one of the characters in the book, and then later to two of the characters in the book. The protagonist has a very, very hard struggle with his sense of self in the novel, and it's very much informed by modern media and the cult of celebrity, and the youth being in this particular state of isolation, I think exacerbates that to some extent. But everything I've said sounds and probably is a bit more profound than the book reads. Though it is dark, it is. People have told me that it's a fast read, which is very flattering. Even if they don't like it, a lot of people have told me that they just kind of tear through it, which is totally flattering. And that's the book I wrote. And too bad the viewers, the listeners cannot view, but it's pink.
You can view if you go to lovelineshow.com. Ustream has provided us, of course, with the live video stream.
Yes.
Davey Havoc, now an author, is our guest. Pop Kids is the book. Available everywhere books are sold, which is few and far between. Now.
Right. Actually, I think most books are sold on Amazon these days.
Overwhelming majority.
Or iBooks, which it is available on Amazon and iBooks. And there's some little, if you go to popkidsbook.com, we filmed some shorts. There's some shorts that are up there that are interesting to watch if you don't like reading. A few of my friends and a few fans have told me this will be the first book that they ever read.
Wow.
Which I'm very touched by.
It's well written. The little bit I've
so far.
read,
Thank you.
I've
Thanks,
read
Drew.
Chunks of it. Yeah.
I'm touched. You were an inspiration.
He's a harsh literary critic, Dr. Drew Pinsky.
I'm not lying when I say Drew is an inspiration to this book. So thank you for that, Drew.
Much to talk about with our guest tonight, Davey Havoc, who is now an author. Again, Pop Kids is the book. Popkidsbook.com is where they can go.
Yeah, check it out.
All right.
It's not easy to write conversation like this.
Oh,
dialogue.
Thanks, Drew. Thank you.
Right? It's hard.
It is difficult. Yeah. It is difficult to not get convoluted with that.
Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll talk more about the book, and I have a lot of questions for Mr. Havoc, who's joining us this evening.
Wonderful.
Chad, hello.
Hi, this is Chad from Calabasas. How are you?
How are you, my friend? You're 55?
Yes, 55, and I have a question for the doctor. I'm just coming out of a 30-year relationship with a sociopath, borderline personality disorder.
How did you maintain it for 30 years?
Well, I know, good question. The first 10 years, I literally thought I was crazy and it was all about me. The second 10 years, I realized it was her and tried to change, and nothing's really going to happen.
What was happening?
And the third 10 years was I'm going to get my kids through college no matter what. So
what was it she was doing in that second 10 years?
No, it wasn't. It's really been the same for the whole 30 years. It's just she treats her friends and people she doesn't know great, and those that are closest to her she totally ignores and pretends they don't exist.
I don't know. It's borderline. That borderline usually creates chaos for the people close to them.
Oh yeah, she has a histrionic disorder as well, that she likes to rise everything to a challenge of it's either me or somebody else.
Well, who is giving her these labels? Where is these coming from?
Totally from me. From me.
It's because you've mentioned now 3 entirely different personality disorders, completely different. So all we know is that there's something up with her. Does she drink a lot?
No, she will not drink.
Do you use pills?
No, doesn't use pills.
Okay, so it's just her character functioning. Does she cheat on you?
Say that again?
Did she cheat on you?
No, never. Neither one of us.
Did she mistreat her kids?
Say that again?
Did she mistreat your kids?
A little bit. My daughter and I, who's 21, have had that conversation a little, yes.
Okay. You just don't like her. Bottom line, you just don't get along with her. You don't like her. That's fine.
Okay.
That's good. I don't know how you survived 30 years, but it doesn't sound like it was very fun 30 years.
Yeah, I love her and I hate her, so, that's the way it goes sometimes.
All right, so what's the question?
So 2 questions. One is now that, we're going through the divorce process and going forward.
And by the way, borderline in a divorce process is like Jodi Arias. I mean, it would be craziness. How's she behaving now?
No, there's crazy going on, but, I'm a perfectly calm and cool guy, so I just don't let her rise the histrionics to that level. I will not rise with her, when she challenges everything that goes on. It will not rise to that argument.
Okay.
But hold on. We got to get to, because we could sit here and talk about her
all
night long. So the relationship,
Chad,
real quick. The relationship's officially over,
yeah,
though, like divorce, the whole deal?
Underway.
Right, no, I've asked the lawyer probably be another year or 2.
Divorce is underway.
But it is underway. I mean, there's no equivocating here. There's no,
underway, moved out years ago.
I just want to make sure. All right.
Okay.
So then the second question is in the relationship with my children, because I think, and this is just me, all right, obviously you said it's me, do I discuss what I think these issues are with their mother, which intuitively they know they brought up, or do I not bring it up and we just continue to go on as we are?
You can share with them their feelings, but I would not get into splitting. Don't get into she's bad, I'm good. Don't get into that.
Great. No.
Yeah.
No problem. Totally, that was the question.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, intuitively they know what's going on. So.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Very
dude.
Good. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Sounds awful. 30 years, amazing. He stuck it out 30 years.
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
brutal. Tough. I mean, but you hit the nail right on the head. Sometimes you just it doesn't do anybody good to berate her and throw different
you don't like her
psychological syndromes at her. Davey Havoc is our guest. Brittany, hello. Thank you for calling Loveline.
Hello.
Hello.
I have a question for Davey.
Hello, Brittany.
So I began reading your book last night, and I noticed that you mentioned Hello Kitty a lot.
I do.
I really love Hello Kitty.
You do.
And I noticed that you are also heavily tattooed, and so, my question is, do you have any Hello Kitty tattoos?
Oh, I do not.
You don't?
No, I do not, but I've met a few people.
Brittany, do you?
Who do?
No, I don't have any Hello Kitty tattoos. I was just wondering if he had any.
They're fairly ubiquitous, though.
Yeah.
I've met quite a few people with Hello Kitty tattoos.
I've met some really tough, big dudes who have Hello Kitty tattoos.
I wonder how those will play in 40 years.
The first Hello Kitty tattoo I saw put on a really good friend of mine in high school. She was way ahead of her time on that trend because high school was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was put on with a homemade gun in an apartment on her lower back.
So manly.
Yeah,
That's so tough.
She was tough.
Yeah.
She was tough, and I'm sure it is tough. But that was the first Hello Kitty tattoo
You
I saw.
know,
And she was about 15.
Did it look like Hello Kitty?
Yeah,
Did
it did. It was just
successfully
black.
did it?
Yeah, it was a successful kind of shaky Hello Kitty tramp stamp.
You know who's? This is not a joke, Dr. Drew. You know who's getting involved in the Hello Kitty business? Actually, might already be involved.
Who?
Gene Simmons and Kiss.
In the business.
No, they're making their
gonna
first
do Kiss Hello
like,
Kitty.
Kiss Hello
Yeah,
Kitty.
that
They're
makes
collaborating.
sense.
It's gonna be sweet.
That makes sense. There is Hello Kitty everything.
Yeah.
I had some
Well, it's
great
Kiss everything, so.
and there's well, there you
There
go.
you go.
Two of the biggest brands in the world.
1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. Pop Kids is the new book from Davey Havoc, our guest tonight. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. Remember, LovelineShow.com is where you need to go to see the live video stream of everything going on here in the Trojan Studios, and PopKidsBook.com is where you should go to find out more about the new book from our guest, author Davey Havoc. Later tonight, we're going to be talking about swinging. We don't mean on swings. We mean, the lifestyle, people. If you've done it, we want to hear from you. If you're thinking about it, we want to hear from you. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. Dr. Drew, you're a man who's got a lot of experience as a father.
Okay.
You have experience as a father of people who are born at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk to a young lady who's dealing with that right now.
Oh.
And they're at that age. They're at that age. Find out what I mean next on Loveline. Tuesday, NBC's new show, Ready for Love, premieres. 3 guys looking for love with the help of 3 of the world's top matchmakers. That's Ready for Love, Tuesday, after The Voice on NBC.
Sometimes celebs like to help out too.
Hi, I'm John Ferguson Moore. People call me Jay.
Hey, this is Wayne Brady.
Cheech and Chong.
This is Rob Schneider.
Hey, I'm Lisa Lampanelli. This is Jeff Probst. It's Joe Gordon-Levitt.
Hey, this is Katy Perry.
Hello, my name is Johnny Knoxville.
This is D.L. Hughley, and I'm on Loveline.
Get it while it's hot.
Loveline.
Loveline's coming right back after this stuff.
Tell the Pooh story. Or get Rudy in
Oh, Paris Pooh.
So I head off to Europe, and I'm gonna go and have my time on the road. I'm gonna really discover myself in a new
19,
land.
20?
Yeah, about 19. So I fly over to jolly old London, and I say to myself, look, I know from watching documentaries and stuff about the punk rock scene that the Sex Pistols and everything, they always get their drugs in Piccadilly Circus. So that's where I'm going. So I go straight there, and I meet up with some locals, and I start getting hammered. And this guy tells me that if I buy 200 pills of ecstasy, it would save me a lot more money because I could buy it in bulk. So I was like, great idea. By the end of the night, I have now been convinced to go to Paris because London doesn't have a good coke scene, and there's a good coke scene in Paris. So I was like, done. So now on No Sleep, I'm making my way to Paris.
How much ecstasy have you taken by the time you get there?
Like 3 hits. Yeah, I mean, I'm gone. I'm drunk too. So then we get a bunch of blow. I thought, like, wow, what great United Nations type bond I'm making with these people of both the UK and of France by showing them how to cook crack. So I show them how to cook crack. We all get really high. I mean, like, just like we smoke crack a lot. And so that's like really the last thing I remember, except we went to a bar called Absinthe and drank absinthe, which was ironic and fun at the same time.
Absinthe, crack, ecstasy.
No sleep. And
a lot of
tons of alcohol. Yeah. All right. So I'm gone, right? That's about the last thing I remember. I wake up, Olivia Munn, in a hotel hallway.
No, don't say it.
In a hotel hallway.
Stop it.
Not a room.
Stop.
Now, mind you, I'm not staying in this hotel. In a hotel
he's
hallway.
never seen before.
No.
In a land where I don't speak the language, in this strange place, face down with no clothes on
What?
except my boxers, which are filled with poo. So now I gotta go. Like, well, where do I go? I know I don't stay here, or do I stay here? I don't remember checking into a hotel. I go down to the elevator and I just run out into.
Wait, with elevator and opens up,
and there's people, and I'm like.
He's steroided out too on
roided out, tatted out American with poo in his pants. So I finally make it down to the lobby, and I just run to outside. I just run outside, and now I'm like, I just remember the sun burning my eyeballs. I'm like, oh, it's daytime. And I'm in Paris, and I don't speak French, and I'm in poo boxers, and I don't have any keys or ID or any. So I go to this hostel. I go, okay, I think I'm staying here, and the guy, by the grace of God, spoke perfectly. I think I'm staying here, and he's like, oh, yeah, this room. And then I walk up there, and I realize, wait, I don't have a key. I look up in my room, and it's open, and the deadbolt is, like, keeping it open, okay? I push it open. I'm like, oh, my God, this is bad. There could be a dead body. I push it open, and there's all my clothes, all my passport, everything, money, perfectly laid out on my bed. At some point decided I need to take my clothes off and go somewhere else and crap myself. But I don't remember that. But that's...
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And I don't think I was raped or anything. Like,
Sorry about your poo.
It's cool. You know what? I lived to a cleaner, sober, brighter day. Yeah, buddy. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. Our guest tonight is probably best known as the front man for AFI, but he is also an author. Pop Kids is the new book from Mr. Davey Havoc.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. We'll talk to Davey in just a moment, but I have to get to Dana. Is it Dana?
Dana.
Dana. Okay. Book 'em, Dana. Yeah, that was a really, really patronizing laugh. Go ahead, Dana.
Hi, Dr. Drew.
Dana, what's happening?
I'm a mother of twins, and I want to know the appropriate punishment that you think is appropriate for a 16-year-old twin who are skipping school, going from straight A's to straight F's in one semester.
Okay, you do not attempt anything alone. This is a child who is in deep trouble. If you have someone whose grades drop, it's the most sensitive evidence of a severe depression is a sudden severe drop in grades. You get him to him or her to a mental health professional.
Going to a therapist, and the therapist says she has very high anxiety, but
whatever it is, something is terribly wrong. And if that therapist is not able to identify it, get her to a psychiatrist. There's something terribly, terribly wrong. It's not punishment. This is a mental health problem. Forget punishment. Something has gone off the rail.
Something terribly wrong has happened in our house.
I'm telling you, something is wrong. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's happening. But if a kid suddenly goes from A's to F's, something is drastically wrong.
And Dana, don't assume that because ostensibly nothing damaging has happened, like in the household, or there hasn't been a death or divorce or anything like that, something profound to a 16-year-old hasn't happened.
And by the way,
it could be external.
Who knows? Or it could be it's a medical
Genetic.
problem or
Genetic.
genetic. Who knows what it is? Or doing drugs or did something and injured herself or had post-head injury or had a concussion and didn't tell you in sports or something.
Something could happen at school.
Who knows? But something drastic has happened here, and she needs a medical evaluation. I would say see a psychiatrist if the therapist will allow that. But something is very, very wrong. And by the way, when you were 15, did you tell your mom everything that was happening to you?
Oh, God, no.
Right.
She did half of what I did when I was 15.
Right, okay.
I
So, but that's my
with the
point.
microscope.
There's all kinds of stuff going on you don't know about also.
Right.
But something is very, very wrong. Do not do this alone. Do not attempt this one alone.
Okay, here's another thing. She wanted to get out of public school and go to an online school, and I said no because she's so socially shy.
So again, what's going on at school? What's happening? Why is she
Is
so?
something at school, do you think?
And she might be being brutalized at school by her peers.
She's not telling me that, though.
Of course she's not.
Embarrassed.
She's embarrassed, shame.
Look,
Kids don't tell their parents stuff like that.
Dana, when I was 16, I was in really bad shape. And my parents were together, and they were very loving to me, and I didn't have any death in the family or anything like that. Little did my parents know that, in the last 3 years prior to me being 16, I had been sexually active with a much older woman, and that really had a kind of a negative effect. And I got the ass beat out of me to the point that I almost couldn't walk home. They knew none of this. You know what I'm saying? So, like, really, a lot of stuff happens.
And
when
you were
you're-
doing drugs, and you almost got drowned.
Yeah.
None of that the parents were
exactly.
aware of. And these were parents who were on top of you.
Yeah, like
these were involved parents.
with one of the parents at home not working and like really keeping a good eye. So don't assume that just because there hasn't been something, like I said, like outwardly noticeable.
Just know that that kind of clear symptom tells you all you need to know. Something is wrong.
Another thing too is like Dana mentioned that the therapist isn't necessarily saying that there's anything majorly wrong either. When you're 16, that's like the perfect age to lie through your teeth to a therapist.
Oh, absolutely.
I went to see therapy, and I was like, it was useless because I was like, I know I'm good.
No, I would
like,
take
I'm pretty
that
cool.
to a child analyst psychiatrist because it could be a medical thing, could be anything. Who knows what this is?
All right, we have a question for our guest, Marissa, calling from the Garden State. What's up, Marissa?
Hi. I stayed up late.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, it is late in New Jersey. What's up?
Oh, yeah, it is late. Hi, Marissa.
Hi. Okay, so I had a question for Davey, kind of about the book.
Okay.
So you tweeted that you were having the book, and then all of a sudden, this Twitter popped up for Score. Do you have anything to say about that? Like, who is that?
Yeah, I saw that. He started tweeting at me, which is wild. I'm pretty positive I know who that person is. And he'd been on there for quite a while as Score Massey, and I really believe that he is the young man who is not as young as he was in this book when I started years ago that told me a lot of the stories that directed the narrative of the protagonist in the story. And it's pretty crazy that he would take on the character's name publicly, because he shouldn't really be doing anything publicly to draw any attention to himself, to be honest. But simultaneously, I'm not actually that shocked because it actually goes perfectly in line with your character, Score.
Yeah.
If you're out there, please call me, because he won't
Call 1-800-LOVE-191
yes,
immediately.
please call me, Score.
And Holly and Stella showed up, too.
I saw those. Those are clearly not the Holly or the Stella, and I'm sure that the Score, who is the Score, is wildly excited by the fake Holly and Stellas, as I'm sure Holly and Stella themselves would be also very flattered.
Frontman of AFI is Davey Havoc. He is also an author now. Pop Kids is the book he's talking about. He is our guest tonight. PopKidsBook.com is where you need to go to find out more information on the book. A lot of the stories you're talking about in the book are based around the exercises, the ideas, the themes of children today. Youth, teenagers.
Yeah.
Things have drastically changed since you and I were teenagers.
Yes.
We're about the same age, and even sure, a lot of themes are universal.
Of course.
You idolize certain people and relationships and puppy love and all these things and drug use, whatever it may be that face kids and pressures and whatnot. But a lot of stuff has completely been manifested in the last 3 or 4 years.
Absolutely. I mean, even longer than that. I think noting the cultural divide that occurred with the inception of the internet and thereafter social media and thereafter the phenomena of reality television and YouTube and the celebrity that results from those forums. And the impact that has on generation after generation since that onset is that divide is so stark.
Right.
It seems. It really seems that the ambitions and the values of a youth culture has shifted, and with all information at your hands from the beginning of your life, with all media completely accessible, whether it be this band, this song, or fisting porn.
Right.
It creates this white noise and this lack of understanding of the greater depth of all sorts of scenarios. So I feel that what goes on is people feel a connection to a surface level of understanding. Not to mention the glorification of not simply doing nothing but actual negative actions, and that was a little convoluted what I said, but it informed the storyline. And as time has gone on, as I've written this book, and as I was writing it, more and more happened in the media that I would have to shift and inform. And it's like, oh, now there's Sweet 16 and pregnant. Great, that goes in,
Right. No,
Like-
it's like a living, breathing thing. You had to
Yeah.
almost, it was like a socially created piece of art, as time went on.
It was very fluid. As I was writing, I'd have to change things. I did a signing at the Standard Hollywood the other night,
Yes.
and I discussed what I'm about to discuss now.
Instagram
So,
was just rife with
Was it?
really beautiful girls.
Oh, it was a
say,
wonderful event.
Just got David to sign my book.
It was very, very touching event for me. And I mentioned this at the event. When writing about pop culture in modern times, it changes so quickly that it's very, very difficult to keep up and finish a book and still have it be somewhat relevant to the times. And one of the examples, it's minor, but two of the examples is, as I mentioned earlier, Katy Perry is somewhat of a totem and an icon to one of the characters, and later a second character in the book. Katy Perry, as I was writing this, and Russell Brand were both characters mentioned that reappear in the book. They didn't, as far as I knew, even know each other. In fact, having read Russell's biography, hadn't met when I started writing this book. As I'm writing the book, they meet and then they get married, which worked out well for me, actually. So thank you both.
Serendipitous
for that. That was very serendipitous. And then there was another moment where I was trying to create a mood, and there's music and there's a playlist in the back of the book track. So if you hear a song referenced or a band reference, you could look in the back of the book and see what song is playing and who it's by.
Nice.
But there's a moment where I was trying to create a mood, and there was an electronica song that I wanted to put on there, and now it's called EDM. But I had Deadmau5 placed as the song, and I thought, okay, no one's going to know who that is. I can't have Deadmau5 there. And so I took him out, and then 6 months later,
he's as big a star as
he's hosting the VMAs,
Kiedis,
and I said, Deadmau5 can go back in that part. So
it's really crazy. I mean, especially like you said, with the the advent of the internet and whatnot. I mean, people can become worldwide phenomenon almost overnight.
Yeah, for anything.
Davey Havoc is our guest. Pop Kids is the new book from our guest, Mr. Davey Havoc. Go to popkidsbook.com to find out more about it. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. Later tonight, we're going to talk about swinging during the open forum. If you are involved in the swinging lifestyle, we'd like to talk to you. And if you're thinking about it, we'd like to talk to you. That is our question. Swinging, have you? Would you? More with Davey Havoc. Plus, a girl who's going through that phase where she just doesn't understand guys on the dating scene. We're going to help her out next on Loveline.
Crazy Girl romance products are designed to be women and couples friendly. Why don't you take the next step and become wildly seductive, dazzling, and as daring as you want to be? Visit Crazy Girl at www.crazygirlproducts.com.
One call is all it takes.
Exactly.
1-800-LOVE-191. 1-800-LOVE-191. Loveline's coming back.
Well, I got this girlfriend, and she was wondering who I had sex with in the past, and she got really jealous of that, and she just won't take her mind off that, and every time she...
Yeah.
I can speak to this. May I, Tucson? I just wrote an article for Playboy magazine. I have a column in there every month, and this one's called Don't Ask, Don't Tell, Don't Show Me Pictures of the Bitch. We like to feel as if your penis is straight off the assembly line. We unwrapped it in plastic and inserted it. That's the first Anthony Weiner that you ever put in anybody. So you should have shut your mouth.
Coral and I coined a phrase years ago, more mystery, less history.
Ooh, I love that.
Isn't that good?
Look at you, Doctor.
More mystery, less history.
Admit it. We're from Tucson. Well, I'm not from there, so I'm above you.
Yeah.
But didn't you kind of tell her just to show off a little, just to be like, hey, I have some self-esteem here from banging this other broad? Admit it.
Yeah.
I know. This is unsolvable. You got to break up.
Dr. Drew.
Yep.
On your CW show just yesterday, Life Changers, 3:30 everywhere on CW. Great show. I was watching it yesterday. We were talking about Massive Mocha.
We took a left turn for this one episode.
And it was essentially about squishing. Yes?
Squashing.
Squashing, okay?
Highest rated show we've ever had.
Valerie is calling regarding that.
So I've been dating this guy for years and years already, and over the last year, he has put on some weight. And my favorite position is missionary, where I'm on the bottom, right? But it's gotten to the point where sometimes it's kind of like if he's squishing me. And when I do bring this up, however, he gets really sensitive, and then the intimacy level, it just goes. It's becoming difficult for me to be in my favorite position with him. And,
We got that part. What can we help you with, honey?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out a way that I can have him, still be that way with me.
If he's having problems with impotence, it's
Yeah.
that he's a giant fat person.
Let's see here. Jasmine?
Yeah, what's up?
What's up?
Hey, what's up?
All right, listen. And then I ain't got time for this.
Man. Is that it?
Yeah, you cackling hens? What do you want?
Okay, so I have a boyfriend. I've been with him for a year already, and he pretty much doesn't screw me anymore. I'm trying to figure out.
Where did Jasmine go to finishing school? I didn't catch that.
Where do you dance at? Better
Vanderbilt.
question.
Okay, listen. Okay, so I just want to know why you guys might think he doesn't want to do it. I mean, I'm freaking awesome, and
There's no reason why a guy wouldn't want to just have sex with his girlfriend. If he'd prefer to masturbate instead of have sex with his girlfriend, there's two things. He's either cheating on you or he's not that into you, and either way...
I know. He's like, oh my God, this is so lame. I can't even believe I'm doing this.
Doing what?
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right, bye. I like the way she insults all of us on her way out the door.
You guys are so lame. Yeah, buddy. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the number to call us here if you have a question. PopKidsBook.com is the official website of the new book from our guest Davey Havoc of AFI and Black Audio. We are going to get right to Vivian right now because Vivian has a question that I think both Dr. Drew and I, and certainly Davey can help her with. Vivian, hello.
Hi.
Hello, Vivian.
Hi, Vivian.
This is so amazing that I get to talk to Davey Havoc.
Oh, thanks, Vivian.
I've been a fan since I could remember.
Oh, thank you.
But, yeah, I'm a big fan. But I have a question about men, okay?
Yes.
I have a very hard time attracting the right people. I guess I always attract the bad guys and the bad boys, and I don't know why, because I'm such a nice person. I'm supposed to attract nice people. But apparently every single person that I talk to or start dating, eventually they just go like, oh, I don't want a girlfriend right now. I'm going through a lot. I work a lot. I don't have time. But I feel like if you want to make time, you can make time. And I don't understand the whole concept of I don't have time. I feel like it's just me and they just don't want to spend any time with
You've
me.
mentioned 5 different topics in one quick breath here. How many times has this happened?
Like a good 3 times this year.
Okay, and the fact that a guy doesn't want to have a girlfriend, you then label them as a bad guy?
No, well, the good guys, how can I put this? Like, the bad guys only want, obviously, one thing, and then the good guys are like, they don't want girlfriends. So
It seems like the good guys. Wait. You basically said the bad guys want one thing, And the good guys want one thing. Hey, you said.
Well, the good guys, of course, want that thing as well, but
Well, so there you go. So what's the? I don't understand the question.
Can you define a bad guy?
everything goes so well, so smoothly, like all of the dates and hanging out, going out here, going out there, and everything's perfect. And then all of a sudden, they don't want that relationship that we were slowly building.
How old are you?
25.
How old are the men?
Well, the one that I was actually really like rooting for was 31.
He should be able to pull that off.
And he didn't want a girlfriend.
Did he
But
have
he was perfect in every way.
Does he have a life? Does he have a career?
Yeah, what's he do?
Yeah, he has a life, he has a career, but I do as well.
Maybe he's married.
But Vivian, you said something. You know, he was perfect in every way. It's a.
But obviously, not every way.
Well, you get in.
Every
Hold
way
on.
that I like the guy to be perfect.
Right, but I feel like you're
personality-wise.
at that age where you can really idealize people, especially people that were in past relationships, and I think we all kind of go through that, where everything looks better in retrospect, and we like I said, you aggrandize how great these people are, and you're only 25, like you have a whole lot of guys coming in and out of your life in the future, and to make these generalizations like. How come these guys don't want relationships and these guys only want this? You'll meet the dude that is like kind of got an edge to him, but also wants to be in a long-term relationship.
I don't know. I just keep meeting like I don't know. I just can't.
Well,
nothing is clicking right now?
Where are you going to meet men?
Yeah, where do you meet them?
Oh, where do I go? Well, I don't usually go clubbing or anything like that. I like small dive bars if I ever do go out.
Where are you meeting these men?
Oh,
Not
man,
where aren't
LA,
you meeting
LA
them?
Sucks.
Where? Okay, stop telling us where you don't meet them. Where are you meeting them?
You meet them at dive bars?
Like mutual friends, mostly mutual friends, and like a few weddings.
Maybe you should find out why the guys didn't. See if it was something about you. Ask them. Say, is there something? Did I do something? Is there something I missed?
Yeah, that's what I feel.
You could ask them.
But I feel like if I ask, it's like I'm being too needy, and I don't want to like come off that way. Like, what am I doing wrong?
I understand that.
How long do you date them? How long is this happening before you feel they're pulling out? And is it possible that maybe is it possible that you're coming on too strong? I mean, to go back to what Mike said, you referred to this guy as perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, is it
Maybe
possible
I
that you're
might
scaring
be
him
coming
away?
on too strong, but I have like a lot of like affection and a lot of love to give, and I feel like maybe I might be coming off too strong. So then this comes to my other question: do I have to play like that game of like cat and mouse, like being like hard to get? Like I
Listen, there's a giant distance between
games,
between being love addicted and then playing games.
Yeah.
You may be mistaking love for intensity, and you may be very needy, and you may have difficulty sort of maintaining boundaries and allowing a relationship to build normally to the point where a guy starts pushing away and feels overwhelmed and smothered. You've got to maybe work on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? Read a book called Women Who Love Too Much. Okay? And I think
I
you
don't
should
know.
read
I
that.
still feel like I still do like have that distance of not showing too much too soon, but they shut me off before I could even like say anything. So I feel
How
like
soon do you sleep with these guys?
Oh, I don't.
At all?
Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah.
You don't at all sleep with them?
But it's like 2 months. 2 months you're like talking to them, dating them, like, and if they haven't showed me anything, like.
Okay, no,
that
that's
they're
too long.
Looking for a long term something.
Well, we've hit the jackpot of why
Yeah, we
guys
found
aren't
out.
sticking
Yeah,
around.
you're dating them for 2 months and you're not having sex with them.
Oh my God.
That's a problem.
But like the conversations never really come up. Like, oh,
It's not a conversation.
Yeah, it's in their brain. Believe me.
So I should have sex with them.
Yes.
Or if
Yes.
it's not in their brain, that's the problem.
Right.
If that's not what they're thinking about, that's an issue.
We
too.
are in no way saying go have sex with someone just for the sake of it. What we're saying is that most guys
It's a tell. It's a
in
tell.
early 20s
Yeah.
are not going to stick around for more than two or three dates if they're not getting booty.
Correct.
And even the nice guys or not. I mean, it's just, that's really a priority.
That's actually, I think you should be impressed and proud of yourself if you got a guy to date you 3 months without having sex with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You are special.
Yeah.
Oh my
and
God,
it
Davey,
but
haven't called me special.
You are
but
special.
if he wasn't
I won't talk
going-
to you for 3 minutes if you're not having
But
sex
remember,
with me.
if he
by then.
wasn't going in that direction, it's a tell. He may not be interested in that way.
I don't know. I feel like I show them that I'm interested. Like I try to,
Hey,
keep
Vivian,
conversations
We can go
going.
round and round and
No,
round
we're done.
about this.
We've solved this.
We've got two
Okay.
solutions, two things, two like real keys to what's going on with you. You overthink everything.
I probably do.
No, we've been talking to you for 6 minutes. We know. You need to just relax. Be happy to be Vivian. You're 25 and everything's cool for you.
Yeah.
And when you feel like a guy's cool and good for you, go ahead and have some fun. Don't worry about it. And that I guarantee things will start changing for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I shouldn't think too much.
Yes.
Correct.
Ever. Ever in life. That's good. You know what? That's good advice for everyone. Dr. Drew, I
Trust
want
your instincts.
you and your doctor friends, just stop thinking.
All right. Plan.
1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. Davey Havoc is our guest this evening. So, go ahead. Anderson, find the crowd. Bring them in
Thank
here.
you.
Let's get
Anderson, we got anybody else? Thank you.
I've gathered about 12 people up there. Oh, wow. They're
just-
having babies.
It's locked in.
They're like amphibians. They're just reproducing. Pop Kids is the new book from Davey Havoc. And right now, we are going to start the open forum. Tonight's topic is swinging. If you are a swinger, we want to hear from you. If you're thinking about swinging, we want to hear from you as well. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. It's time for the open forum. You take over the show and give us your opinions and experience. The lifestyle of swinging. Have you done it, or would you like to? We want to hear from you right now on Loveline.
It's time for you to give us your opinions and insight.
Mother has old-fashioned ideas.
Well, I don't approve of it. Here's tonight's open forum.
Yeah, buddy. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. It is time for the open forum. All right, we want to talk about swinging. So, if you are a part of the lifestyle, please do pick up the phone and call us up. 1-800-LOVE-191 swinging. A lot of people also, we want to hear from you if you're thinking about getting involved in swinging. If you are in a relationship and you think, hey, why not? Give us a call. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. Our guest this evening is a vocalist, is a musician. He has dabbled in fashion design.
True.
And now he is an author. I'm talking about Davey Havoc, author of Pop Kids.
Thank you.
Anderson, where'd they go? Where'd they go?
Thank you.
Where'd they go?
They left.
Oh, there they I will say this. I am not, I'm a married man, and I'm not down with swinging, but I know two couples off the top of my head that have been married a long time, and they're open about swinging, and they seem to be perfectly happy. It's not for me, but again, you know.
And this was prompted by hearing, I was away on Thursday, but I listened to you guys. I was driving across the great state of California.
Yes.
And Emily mentioned that she seemed to have gotten into that a little bit.
She said that she had not been in a relationship and then been a swinger, but she had gone to swinging parties as a guest of a guy and dabbled.
Oh, that's a completely different thing.
That's just like going to a sex party.
Yeah, it's a sex party. If you're not in a relationship.
But that to me already seems. I need to know more.
Yeah. Well, I did.
I mean, is Hito Rick a swinger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially.
But he didn't go with anybody.
How do you know? How do you know?
Because I look at him, I can tell.
Dr. Drew.
Well, wait, you can't go alone. Certainly as a male.
I think hedonism is more of like a sex escape. I mean, a traditional swingers party is like you bring your significant other, and it's like it's on and popping, right?
Or you bring a person.
A person. Yeah.
Well, then it's not
If you're a
swinging.
male, you
There's a
bring a
difference.
female.
There's orgy sex party. You bring somebody.
Yeah.
Or swingers parties, and you bring your significant other.
Yeah.
That,
See, Dr. Drew's only okay with orgy sex party. Him and his wife.
I agree with Dr.
Chardonnay.
Drew. I can understand orgy sex party,
Yeah.
whereas this
Sanjay Gupta comes over with his
I can't
wife.
understand any of this.
And
I saw Drew at one of the orgies. But
Really?
If I saw him
Mehmet
at a swing,
Oz comes over, and they just, they stethoscopes on the head and just go. Michael, hello. Thank you for calling Loveline.
Hey, what's up?
You're into swinging?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, Michael.
Yeah, no, my girlfriend is, and she's curious about it, but
Yeah.
I'm not really buying into it.
Okay. When you say
I don't
hold on. When you say she's curious, she's excited and enthusiastic about the idea, or she just brought it up like, hey, would you ever?
Or she's done it before.
She hasn't done it before, but she's brought it up because, like, lately we've both been really busy with school and work, and so we haven't had much intimacy to put in. And I don't know, she brought it up just like spice up things, but
So
I don't
she
know,
wants-
I feel like I'd be cheating on her in a way.
Okay, wait. How old are you, man?
I'm 22.
You're 22 and you've only been dating a girl 6 months, and already the intimacy has gone wayward?
Well, dude, I've been working like crazy shifts because like I moved out early.
Uh-huh.
And my car went to crap. Like I had to get a new tranny and stuff. So
If you have time to
Wait, time
He's
out.
depressed. He's depressed.
How did you move out early if you're 22?
I moved out when I was 19.
Still
and
about
I'm
on
not really
schedule.
on talking terms with my parents, so I don't really get much support from them.
All right. Well, fair enough. Hey, well, listen, I would have to say it does to me. It doesn't matter how much you're working, and I understand being super busy, and that takes a lot out of you. But I would imagine, like at 22, especially only dating 6 months, shouldn't you guys?
Mike, when you were 30 and sleeping 2 hours a night,
Yeah.
still okay with the penis?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I like when I was really sleeping like about 2 hours a day.
Yeah. And you're working all other hours.
all day. I was doing E-News,
Yeah.
the TV show, and then Kevin and Bean in the morning, and then Loveline at night. I had just started dating someone, and all we did was every time I saw her, it was just humpage.
So the excessive work does not fly unless you're getting depressed.
But listen, in Michael's defense, that tapered off, but it was like a year in.
How often do you have sex, Michael?
Well, whenever we meet up, that's mostly what we do.
Oh.
And when is that?
I'm not kidding you. Like I get back from work, like on lunch break, and sometimes I have a cookie instead of fucking a burger.
Didn't I hear
Whoa,
an F?
dude, yeah, watch your language. Michael's a fun character. 1-800-LOVE-191. If you're interested in swinging or you already
It sounds like
are,
a bad idea for that relationship. That's not going to work.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all a bad idea. 1-800-LOVE-191. Listen, if you're interested in swinging, call us up. If you are already swinging, call us up. That is the open forum topic this evening. Danielle, hello.
Danielle.
Oh, no, wait, hold on, sorry.
There we are.
Karina,
Yes.
hi.
Hi.
Talk to us about swinging.
Well, my boyfriend always brings it up, and I'm just not into it because I feel like it's an excuse for him to cheat.
Right. Where would he
He
take
says-
you? What's his plan?
Well, he says that it's not because we'd both be doing it, and I said, well, I would get jealous also.
Well, we understand that. What's his plan of action? Like, how does he approach you about it?
Where's he going to take you?
He'll just bring it up, or we'll just start talking about it because we'll just start talking about like our sex life, and that he's like, well, what about swinging? We can do swinging. I don't know if he's serious or I think he's serious about it.
All right, Karina, let me ask you the third time. Where does he plan to take you for this swinging
where
idea?
Does he plan? Oh, sorry. He says that there's places here in town that do that,
That do that.
but I don't think he even knows.
Okay, so it's just an ill-defined sort of notion he has.
I mean, that's a bad idea if it's
And
something
he's
that.
also 24, so
What does that mean?
well, I feel like he's very young, immature.
How old are you?
I'm older.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah.
what's going wrong with your sex life?
Well, we have a long history with each other. It used to be really, really good in the beginning, and it kind of just went down. We both got into heroin.
Oh.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
so
Why don't
he
you
blames
focus on
that.
that? Well, yes, that has a little something to do with it.
Yeah.
Maybe you ought to focus on that and not swinging parties.
Right. Well, that's what I told him, that it wouldn't even happen anyway.
Okay.
Karina, thank you so much. 1-800-LOVE-191. All right, you want to actually up the ante a little bit here, Davey Havoc?
Can
and
we
Dr.
please?
Drew? Yeah, we're going to talk to someone who's been active as a swinger for 11 years.
Fantastic.
Okay, this
Excellent.
someone might
11
actually have-
years.
11
Excellent,
years.
excellent.
Katie,
Wonderful.
did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us about swinging. Now you've been at it for 11 years.
Well, technically, we've been at it for 8 years.
Okay.
But we've been interested in talking about it for about 11 years.
Okay.
And how often do you guys do it?
It depends. Throughout the years, we kind of go up and down with it, where sometimes we'll do it like every weekend, and then we'll take a break for a little while, and then go back to it.
And who determines the frequency?
Both of us.
And why do you take a break when you need a break?
Just to ice her vagina.
Why?
No, not that. Just as we feel like our relationship just needs to have a break and just focus on just us, then we will keep it about just us.
Interesting. Anybody getting STDs or anything?
Never.
How do you avoid that?
Katie, how do you deal with? It's one thing if you both mutually agree to do it, and you're adults, you could do that. How do you deal with the jealousy aspect? I mean, you have to have come to the point sometime where there was a woman sleeping with your husband or wife. I don't know what your proclivities are, but I mean, where you kind of felt hurt by that. Am I wrong?
I think I'm different than a lot of girls. I don't have a lot of jealousy where a lot of people do. But in the very beginning of it, sometimes every once in a while I would just kind of see him with another girl, and I would get jealous but also like it at the same time.
Okay. Dr. Drew, from a clinical standpoint, what's it where she doesn't, she admits she got jealous. I'm not like other girls, but I got jealous when I saw him with certain girls.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, there was something that attracted her to it, too.
It sounds like a traumatic reenactment. Did
Okay.
you ever walk in on your parents?
Around my parents?
Did you ever have to witness them having sex?
No.
Because it just sounds like you're like reenacting something. Like you're aroused by something traumatic.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I've never seen my parents, and I've never been part of their.
Did you see
sex life or
pornography at a young age?
anything. I would find my dad's magazines, and that's kind of how I knew I was interested in girls.
How old were you?
Maybe 15, 14,
Okay.
maybe younger.
I mean, how do you know you're interested in whatever you're interested in if you're like preteen?
Well, I guess I've just always been interested in both men and women, and I've always known that since.
So is that what this gives you a chance to do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Is it possible you're gay?
Bi.
Do you bring men? Do you bring men into the equation?
Yeah.
Do you?
Swinging and being in the lifestyle is not just women or just men. It's other couples in the lifestyle.
Yeah. I just wanted to.
And overall, because you guys have been together a long time, do you feel like it's strengthened your relationship, hurt your relationship, or neither?
Definitely strengthened.
Okay.
Yep. Very good.
All right.
Great.
Fair
That's
enough.
great.
Katie,
Great.
she's got some serious stripes on her belt when it comes to swinging. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. Our guest tonight is Davey Havoc. You know him best as the frontman of AFI, but he is now an author. Pop Kids is the new book from Davey Havoc. Go to popkidsbook.com for more information. And right now we're in the middle of the open forum where we're talking about swinging, the swinging lifestyle. That's right. If you're a swinger, if you're a part of the lifestyle, go ahead and call us up. If you're thinking about it, call us up. We just want to talk about it. Swinging, would you or have you? That is our open forum this evening here on Loveline.
This is Loveline.
It's a groovy way of relaxing.
Sit tight. Loveline's coming back. Loveline.
Hi, I'm Mr. Skin, and this is the Loveline High Five.
What is the best thing about being you?
That I have a job that I absolutely love. Like, who has a job where they can go at 10:30 on a Friday for a meeting on lesbian scenes?
Boobs or butts?
I'm a boob man. Bigger the better.
I'm surprised you're not more diplomatic on boobs or butts and say something fake like, everything's good. Website has everything.
No, you know what? I've always been. I'm a boob guy. I notice boobs. Butts, I could care less about. I'm all about breasts.
You've been asked to pose for Playboy. What is your go-to pose or Playgirl?
Oh, Playgirl?
Either one. That's a cover pose. I think. If you were king or queen of the world, what would be your first decree?
Nudity. All women have to be nude. Guys don't. It's optional.
All right. But then your site would never end.
Yeah, that's a good point, but I'd already been king, so it wouldn't matter.
What is your favorite nude scene ever?
Well, my favorite nude scene of all time is Phoebe Cates in Fast Times at Ridgemont High at the 51-minute mark. It's iconic. It's Cars music in the background. It's in slow motion.
Last one. Will you give me a high five?
Loveline.
My name is Lisa Lampanelli, the Queen of Mean, and this is the Loveline Top 5, or some other 5 shit.
High five.
Loveline High Five.
Nailed it.
Like
Okay.
anyone cares.
Who was your first celebrity crush?
My first celebrity crush? Oh my God, please be watching James Marsden. I know I'm old enough to be your mother. You too, Zac Efron. Run
Wait a
for
minute.
your freaking life.
James Marsden Cyclops?
No, James
No.
Marsden is the guy from Hairspray, the movie, and from The Notebook.
I think we're talking about the same guy.
Maybe. What's Cyclops?
The X-Men? X-Men movies?
Oh, well, you're watching that nerdy shit. I'm not.
Okay.
Are we allowed to curse?
Yeah. I went to sushi. My girlfriend clammed up right before we left. We walked out and she said, "You just sat next to James Marsden." And she didn't tell me. And I didn't.
Oh my God.
They're like shoulder to shoulder sushi
James
bar.
Marsden. Call me.
I could have hooked you up. All right, what is the strangest place you ever had sex?
Oh, in the ass.
Pickles or cucumbers?
To do what with? Eat or shove up in puss?
That is paper or plastic?
Oh, plastic. Are you kidding? I hate the environment.
It's the zombie apocalypse. Choose your weapon.
I don't even know what that means.
It means if you had to fight
Half of
zombies.
these sentences are so fucking stupid. I don't even understand how a big celebrity like me is even bothering talking to this dumb camera. But I don't know what kind of weapon. I will take my fucking fist and punch your off.
All
How's
right.
that?
That is the
I hate you so much with your questions.
first person to say fist, and I like it. Will you give me a high five?
I guess so. I'm gonna wash with Purell later.
Yeah, buddy. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. Pop Kids, the new book from our guest, Mr. Davey Havoc.
Thank you.
Fine Black Audio and other fine things. We're talking about swinging right now during the open forum. If you're a part of the lifestyle, please call us up and inform us. If you're thinking about it, we want to hear from you. Hello, Mike. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Tell us about swinging.
Oh, wow. Well, first of all, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thanks, buddy.
You know what? I've been swinging for about a couple of years now, about 2.5 years. And I guess I know you're kind of talking to couples more than single males, but on the single male side, I've noticed a lot of single guys are jumping into this kind of as the alternative to the pickup bar because they know that you're going to more than likely meet someone that's open to not only getting to know you, but saying, hey, you're like a swell guy. Let me go ahead and have sex with you kind of deal.
Okay,
Wait. Go ahead, Mike.
No. I think you and I have the same question.
So
Go.
are you a rogue agent that a couple brings in to have sex with them, so you're the third, or are you just saying that you go out and have sex with women?
Oh, no. I'm pretty much the first option to say. I'm kind of the rogue third. Pretty much I have my set couple that I play with all the time.
Oh, okay.
It's a quite close-knit circle that I work, that I play with, and pretty much it's kind of like almost like being their bull, but it's a very friendly environment. We can hang out, go out, have drinks, and so forth, and it's no different than anybody hanging out with their buds, and except at the end of the night, you're having sex with one another.
Right. Now, do you? Is this? Are you having sex with? You're the bull, or you're having sex with both?
No, I'm the bull, so I'm complete hetero activity.
Yeah, gotcha.
I don't mind performing in front of others. I gone to parties. I gone to closed circuit parties, and
on
you'd be surprised how many guys get stage fright. So for couples to find a guy that's cool, relaxed, gifted, and the whole 9 yards, to them it's like a gem. So
basically, you fulfill the men like to watch. Is that correct?
Yeah, it could be where they watch and then they jump in. It could be where it's pretty much where they're directors and say, hey, do me a favor, just try this move, try that position, try. And I say, sure, I don't mind, no problem.
What's that about, Drew?
Really just got it's almost like treating sexuality no different than, me talking sports with Psycho Mike. It's that comfortable. It's just chilling, kicking back, and you could shoot the shit with somebody.
Whoa, whoa, language. Whoa. All right, well, okay, man. Well, listen, that sounds like a win-win situation for a single young man.
Yeah, Mike's in a great position.
Wow. All right. Well,
that's going to end up. It's going to end up really messing with him when he tries to have a real relationship.
That's
later.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because there's a certain excitement level that he's not going to be able to achieve with just one chick. You know, I don't know.
Well, no, the whole thing's going to be empty. Everything's going to be empty for him.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes.
We're talking swinging, man. Tell us.
Yeah, I've been swinging for about 15 years now. Been in the lifestyle. Been with two wives, and it broke up both marriages.
Mm-hmm. So why do you keep doing this?
Well, the first time we got in and everything, we set our parameters, our goals as
Jeff, dude, you're on the radio. Let's go. Pick it up. Are you on like Quaaludes? What?
Those don't exist anymore.
To not be jealous. I was never jealous. I usually got excited watching my wife with.
Why did you keep doing this if it broke up two marriages? Why do you keep doing it?
I guess the excitement of it. After the second marriage broke up, I went in as a single.
Okay.
1-800-LOVE-191. Davey Havoc is here. If you are a swinger, we want to hear from you. If you're thinking about it, we want to hear from you. Jade. Hello, Jade. Stage 4.
Hello.
Hi, Jade.
Hey. So basically, I think a lot of men want.
They want what?
They want to see their wives with a woman.
No.
You mean
No?
in these scenarios specifically when they
But
say
that's
they
what
wanna
people like to see with you, evidently.
Well, I'm married, but my husband is very interested in seeing me with women because I was with women for a long time before him.
Okay, so that's his thing. All right.
But I also think that his goal for swinging, being interested in it, is very. How can I say this? It's like wanting to be gay, wanting to see your wife gay.
Yes, we get that your husband wants to see you with women. We get that. All right. That it?
No. I also think that they expect that maybe a married couple would be a hotter woman because the woman out there going to have a threesome with you, she won't want any commitment. She won't, who is that girl?
I mean, the single girl, you mean?
Yeah, you're not going to get some hot bombshell blonde, big-breasted chick that can be with any guy, and all of a sudden have a threesome with you and be okay with neither one of you loving her.
Sure, you can. Perhaps it's easier to.
Well, the swinger sort of mythology would be that they're all over the place. What's the big deal?
I mean, it's not an impossible thing to find, but perhaps it's easier for him to suggest a couple rather than just saying, "Hey, hun, can you go get a chick so I can have a threesome with you?"
Yeah, I think that's it. It's like if I'm trying to plead my case to open up door, it's like it just seems like I'm less of a scumbag if I
I'm
go,
like, yeah, there could be a guy.
Swing around a little bit. What do you
Yeah.
say? And you already know going into it, Jade, that you've had a past experience with girls.
Right.
He's just.
Did you ever in how long have you been together? How long? 2 years?
6 years.
You've been together for 6 years. Did you ever bring another woman into the bedroom together?
No.
And did you think maybe that was a possibility at the onset of your relationship because of your past?
Yes, I've had multiple options.
That wasn't the question.
Did he think it was a possibility at the beginning of your relationship because of your past with women?
Yes.
Aha.
Well,
bait and switch.
Yeah. Well, that's another version of swinging, I guess, right?
I mean, it's not really swinging.
No,
it's
it's
just a
different.
threesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for the call, Jade. Davey Havoc is our guest this evening. Jet. Hello, Jet.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Oh, we're great. Tell us about swinging.
My excuse me. I'm one half of a lesbian relationship with my girlfriend. She's bisexual, and for a while, we were swingers with other couples. Well, really, one couple. We met them through a website, and part of the
Christian mingle?
Yeah. We ended up becoming really good friends with the couple that we were swinging with. But part of it stemmed from there's an 8-year age difference between my girlfriend and I. You know, we've been together for 8 years, and she's 8 years younger than me. And it was just something that she could, experience, and under kind of an umbrella of safety and protection with me being there. But communication and trust are definitely major factors. They have to be there. So
Okay.
I thought the whole thing was a pretty enriching ordeal. So
Enriching. Okay. Well,
that's it.
okay, thanks. The one thing, Mike, I have learned about people that are into swinging, they aren't into expressing themselves on the radio.
No, they're not articulate
That's
people.
the
for
only
most
thing
part.
I've picked up for
It's-
sure about
It's
about
funny.
swinging.
Had nothing.
It's funny because my friend who is into this is like the most articulate.
He's
He's
a-
like one of the most best. He's one of the best communicators I know, and it's just hysterical because I was hoping that he'd call or
Yeah.
like his ilk. Pyro, hello, Pyro.
Hi.
What's up, dude? Tell us about swinging.
Well, I really wouldn't classify myself as a swinger exactly. We consider ourselves polyamorous, which means many loves. And I have a 5-person poly family that we've been expanding a little bit recently. I've been married for a year now, my wife, and we've had a girlfriend before we were married, in total now for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then my best friend came down from Oregon to visit and had a beautiful girlfriend, and we all hit it off, and we all pretty much had a amazing 5-person weekend, and a year later they moved in, and we've all been, living a fairy tale ever since. Not going to say there hasn't been rocky roads, but it takes a lot of communication and openness and accepting, just really being
What happens if
positive,
somebody wants?
rational adult.
What happens if somebody wants to have kids?
Well, my wife wants to have kids, and we have the intention of raising our children in a community that gives them a safe space to be raised free of irrational, monogamous indoctrination.
All right.
Oh, I mean, like the way swans are and the way animals are. They're just
like
thinking
bonobos. I mean, I think we're most like bonobo monkeys, aren't we?
Absolutely not, because we have sexually transmitted diseases and bonobos don't. They'd be dead. They'd all have AIDS. They'd all be dead if they actually had any biological barriers.
They also don't have cities.
Yeah, exactly. Or jobs.
Or language.
Well, yeah, the consideration is they don't have cities and they don't have condoms. So they don't have the hazards. Cities are the reason the diseases were developed.
No, Pyro. No, bacteria. Bacteria. Plain old bacteria.
Yes, of course, bacteria existed, okay, but diseases and STDs are an advent of
No,
modern
that's
culture.
simply not true. They actually
predate.
Yeah, they actually came over. Some of it came over from Columbus, having been exposed to Indians and brought it back.
Right, but I'm talking about Rome. They had STDs in Rome, okay? We're talking, you want to go to history, we can talk about
Look,
history.
they have them everywhere. Anywhere there's a clustering of biology, bacteria take advantage of that. It's just the way it works.
Anytime humans and animals lived in close proximity, diseases soon come
Yeah,
out.
for sure.
But that doesn't
Bacteria take
require a
advantage
city.
of that.
We're not talking about bestiality. We're talking about humans in a society. Okay, the conversation that we're having right now is about polyamory or about
No. We're talking about biology. We moved from polyamory to biology and talked
right,
about.
but the topic is about.
And wait. Let's just follow the logic. No. We went from bonobos being hypersexual and having sexual contact and saying that there were no biological barriers to them doing that because they don't get STDs. We do. And so our biological barriers develop these social mores around our biological realities, which was we get deadly illnesses
So we
from
don't
these.
die.
We don't die. So we tell our kids, don't do this because you'll die if you
you'll
do
die.
this. And then we started breaking that out. This new diseases develop. We keep getting new diseases every time we break it out big.
Of course. But
That's all.
related. There's a lot of disease. I totally understand
Mike.
where you're coming from.
Yes.
And there's a lot of diseases that related to, human interaction.
1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. Davey Havoc
We
is
have
our
to
guest.
get out.
this
We
evening.
have to wrap it.
Yeah.
We get a
Tomorrow
bonobo line next week.
Tomorrow night, boys from Epic Mealtime stopping by, Dr. Drew. Mr. Havoc.
Yes.
Highly believes in the vegan lifestyle.
It's true. Proponent.
Your head would probably blow right off your neck if you watched Epic Mealtime.
It would probably upset me
Yeah,
terribly.
it was, hundreds and hundreds of slabs of bacon just in one meal.
It's not something that I would be involved
No,
in.
no, probably not.
No.
But nice guys nonetheless, and they will be joining us tomorrow. Right now, our guest is Davey Havoc.
Why are the polyamory guys the angriest guys I know? Why is
You would
that?
think they had get to bang a bunch of chicks all the time.
They'd
They'd be
be
very
not
nice.
angry.
Yeah.
Because it takes a few questions to have them become very upset with the reality of their circumstance.
Listen, I don't want to judge. I hope they enjoy
No,
it.
it's not a
I'm-
it's not
I'm
a
not-
judgment, but
I just bring
you
it
brought up science.
Just talking up science.
Yeah, that's it.
God, stupid me.
Yeah, you got 4 wives, man. Good for you.
I know.
Yeah, it's
That's
great.
probably why they're angry. They have 5 wives.
They're stressed.
They're stressed out.
Kill me.
Right.
1-800. I've been indoctrinated by monogamy. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. Davey Havoc again is our guest. He is the author of a new book called Pop Kids. Check it out, won't you? popkidsbook.com. Straight ahead, your calls regarding anything. That's right. Anything that it may be bothering you. Call us up. Talk to Davey Havoc. Talk to me. Talk to Dr. Drew. It's Loveline.
Brought to you by the makers of Trojan brand condoms. With so many stimulating products, all triple tested for quality, it's no wonder Trojan is America's #1 most trusted condom brand.
This is Loveline. Loveline.
Oh my god. Yeah, totally. Don't choke me.
Oh, it's a leg choke?
Oh my god, this is
So the
very
triangle,
interesting.
the triangle's formed between this leg, and then
I
you
could.
bring-
I can. I understand. I get it. I
See?
get it.
And then I have to put this leg through the crux of this, and then once you get that locked in, all you do is pull a
Squeeze.
little, and it's
And I could do that to somebody.
yeah. If you
My legs are
if
pretty
you were
strong.
able to get their arm through, you have to get one arm through.
I
and
don't
the
know how I get them into that
opposite
position.
arm, so what comes through, the opposite leg goes across, and once you get that, it's like
Swing it over and crush their head.
it's done. I mean, and like I said, it doesn't matter if if you can lock that in. It's night because there's just no both sides of the what's it the carotid?
Yeah.
Both sides get pressed in, and it has nothing to do. People think choking people to sleep is about depriving oxygen. It has nothing to do with it. It's that there's a
How do they
a
not-
massive impact that denies blood to the brain, and
How
then
do-
the brain the human
How do they
mass-
not cause strokes doing that? That's what I understand. How come people aren't stroking all over the place?
I don't know, but I can put to sleep probably more than most people because I have a loud mouth
get
and I'm not
put to
very good.
sleep?
Yeah, and Brazilians don't.
Do you get high from that?
It's not high more than it is like a really not enjoyable body.
Loveline.
Hey, Melissa.
Hey.
Hi. How's the 818?
Oh my god, I can't believe I'm on it. Oh my god, I mean, this is crazy. Okay. Well, first of all, I'm like a huge fan, of course. But, okay.
Yeah. Thanks, baby. Thank you.
Okay, so my question is, okay, it's kind of like a problem. Okay.
Yes, bro.
What?
Yes, bro. Huh? Zanku chicken, right?
No,
Huh?
he's in Burbank, not Glendale.
Oh.
Okay, it's okay. I do my thing, okay, whatever. I hook up, I do my shit away.
Whoa! Slow down. Here's what I heard. And then a big S bomb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Melissa, what do you look like?
I'm 5'3". I don't know how to describe myself. Black hair, hazel eyes.
Ethnicity?
I'm like half like Lebanese, half Armenian.
Bro, that's right, bro. I heard it in your voice, bro. Dr. Drew say you have to be from Glendale, but I know, huh? Joseph Dracar Colonna cigarette, huh? So listen, my friend, I'll go to Glendale Galleria. Melissa.
Yeah.
So you seem to hook up with losers.
Yeah, okay, okay, I don't know, all my friends are like, okay, they're all douchebags, whatever, but it's like, okay, the thing is that, like, I want to, like, okay, I'm 19, I'm young, I should have fun, like, I'm not into the whole relationship thing, whatever, I know what guys want, just, like, whatever, have sex and have fun, but, like, every time I just, like, have sex, whatever, like, I just want, like, a good, like, guy that treats me with respect and doesn't treat me like
Hey!
Stop with the big
Stop
S-bomb.
cursing!
I think that's her third strike there.
Melissa.
Okay.
Are you back?
Yeah.
No cussing.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, you said the S word 3 times. Secondly, here's the thing. If you give a 19-year-old guy pussy without making him work for it, you're going to get what you deserve. Yeah. What, Dr. Drew? Yes. Oh, you like what I'm looking at on the computer?
What are you doing?
I'm studying the mitochondrial bilayer, and I'm just, just
The
medical
ATPase
term.
and the mitochondrial bilayer?
That's right.
Bilayer? Nice, okay.
Different type of muscle fibers and ATP usage. That's things like that. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. I'll show you what I was really looking at later.
Yeah, I want to see it in a second.
Talking to our guest Davey Havoc, who is now an author. Pop Kids is the new book from Mr. Havoc. Rachel, hello.
Hi. Hey, guys. Huge fan of the show.
Thank you.
So I have a question, more like a confusion.
Okay.
Basically, I'm seeing this guy. It's fairly new, and I'm sober, but he... Hello?
Yes.
But he smokes pot and drinks, but never around me.
How long you been sober?
I've been sober this time for 2 months so far.
Okay, why are you getting a new relationship after 2 months?
Because I'm an idiot.
Okay, especially not with somebody that's using. You got to be out of your mind.
Yeah.
You will relapse, guaranteed.
Yeah.
So let's not do this. Let's
can't
focus
do
on our
that.
sobriety and
All right.
get hooked up with your sponsor and focus on that relationship.
Totally.
All right, there you go.
But Rachel, you kind of say that. I mean, are you really 20?
Yeah, I'm 20. Well, I turned 21 on next Sunday.
Okay, so you are almost exactly the same age as I was when I was battling, sobriety for good, battling drug addiction and alcoholism for good. And I was going back and forth, and I was making the same mistakes over and over again. And sure enough, I would always relapse. But you called up, you waited for a long time to talk to us. And then when Dr. Drew said that, you said yes as if you almost knew the answer.
Right.
Okay, so my point is well, why would you even get involved with this guy? And you knew that it was probably something very dangerous.
And
for
by
you.
the way, even if he weren't using, even if he'd been sober 10 years, he'd be suspect, A, being willing to be in a relationship with a newbie 2 months in, and B, you would still definitely relapse.
My point by this, Rachel, is that you're a very young girl, and I'm hoping that this isn't the truth, but it seems like you're almost preparing to relapse. Like, it seems like you almost subconsciously want to go back to using.
You know what? I mean, my past relapse has been because of a guy, and I guess I'm digging myself in a deeper hole right now by dating this guy.
Yes, ma'am.
But I felt like the only reason I was dating him, I guess, is because I felt like I'd somehow be missing out if I just let go of this opportunity.
Why are you dating anybody? You're 2 months.
That's true. My sponsor actually would praise you right now if she heard what you guys were saying, because she thinks I'm an idiot.
I'm surprised
But-
I'm surprised she continued to be your sponsor, frankly. She should have fired you.
Really?
Yes.
Unless you're not being open with her.
Yeah, just rampant disregard for the basic recommendations. She just go, fine, go out and use. Go ahead. Go date and then go use. That's up to you.
Yeah.
Well, and Rachel, here's the thing. You said something, and we'll let you go because it sounds like a lot of this stuff you kind of know, and you need to kind of whip yourself into shape. But you said I didn't want to let this guy slip through my fingers because I didn't want to miss out on an opportunity. Well, how about you don't miss out on an opportunity to stay sober and save your own life?
Right.
How about that be your priority? Okay.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
All right.
Good luck, my dear.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to touch on, Davey, you've been very open about living the straight edge lifestyle, which obviously there's one glaring difference between being in recovery and being straight edge, but there's one glaring similarity. I was going to ask you about it and get into it with you a little bit, but Josh is calling from Canada, and he wanted to touch on that, so hopefully you can answer some of my questions
We'll do both.
for Josh. Yeah, Josh, hello.
Hi.
What's up, man?
Not too much. Davey, I just briefly wanted to say you've got a group of followings on brightblackheaven.com. We're chatting, live streaming you, and we're all supporting you.
Thank you.
So I'm 15 years old. I'm in high school, and in high school, there's a lot of drug use, partying, underage drinking, all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. There's always this pressure to fit in and be accepted, and I'm committed to the straight edge lifestyle. You've been such an inspiration for me, and I wanted to follow in your straight edge footsteps, I guess.
Thank you.
And there's, in my area, I live one city over from Detroit, and so it's very rare to find someone who is straight edge. And so I was just wondering, I don't know if you experienced the same thing throughout your high school years or if you had any pointers on how I could sort of still fit in with my peers but not cave into the pressure.
Well, I mean, the first thing I would ask you is, I have two questions. Do you have any friends who are either straight edge or sober or don't use drugs? And my second question is, why do you want to fit in with these people who are self-destructive?
I have a friend who is straight edge, and we both support each other. And it's not necessarily that I want to fit in with these particular people, but I do want to sort of not be seen as a sort of reject because I don't really know why. I feel like if I'm accepted, it's...
Of course, I mean, certainly being in high school, wanting to be accepted is a very natural thing, and it's a very natural thing for a social society. People in a social society want acceptance, but
sure, especially at that age, man.
Especially
it's
at
so
that
tough,
age,
yeah.
and I understand that. But what you need to understand is it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I know it's hard to believe that, but at this point in your life, it seems like a very important thing. But you living a lifestyle that you know is healthy and that you know is positive is truly more beneficial, and surrounding yourself by people who respect that. Anybody who looks down upon that should be completely ignored. I mean, their opinion is valueless. Anybody who looks down on you for choosing not to destroy yourself and your relationships because you respect your mind and your body is someone whose opinion should mean nothing to you.
And that, I mean, Josh, look, I'm not straight edge, so I don't want to step on Davey's advice because it's great advice. But that's the biggest kind of struggle for being a 15-year-old in general, is really establishing your identity and believing in what you believe in and not kind of letting it dilute with, social pressures. Because admittedly, man, it's hard. It's hard at 34. I'm 34 now. It's hard at 34. I remember part of the reason I got into drugs so deep so quickly, and the rise in my drug use and my alcoholism was very precipitous. It went from 0 to 60 like that. And I think a lot of it had to do with wanting to be the cool kid. It was something that I did that immediately
identity
transformed who I was in high school from being just a middle. I was never bullied. I don't want to go out there and say I was always a loser. I mean, I was just a normal person. And I went to the upperclassmen and the upper echelon of the cool kids. They started to recognize who I was because I had weed on me and I'd have some cokes. And you know what I'm saying? So I understand how peer pressure leads you down certain roads. But I will say, when it comes to, being either in recovery or in straight edge, I always remember what Ian MacKay used to say, back when like the real the early DC hardcore and like straight edge was really coming up. They did it not to have some clique or to belong to or this straight edge thing. They did it because all the guys around them that were using and drinking were dicks,
right? Yeah.
And they didn't want to be a part of it. They wanted to have self-respect, and and that was their motive. So it's like really analyze your motive,
exactly.
And if you want to take care of yourself and you want to be in control of the situations when everybody else is not, you want to not go to jail. Those are the reasons why you should continue to kind of align yourself with that.
Actually, Mike, I have one more question for you. You said you live near Detroit. Are you part of the hardcore scene?
To a certain degree. I mean, I'm in Windsor, which is just right across the Detroit River, and so, I mean, a lot of, like, I think I read Pop Kids.
Thank you.
It was very relative to my life because a lot of the teenagers who I know and who I've grown up with, they are very obsessed with pop culture, and I mean, rock and roll isn't a very prominent
certainly not
genre
certainly
in this
not
era. And I mean, there are a few, and when you meet someone else who does appreciate rock and roll or hardcore or anything like that, it is so wonderful to be able to interact with them, and it's like one big family.
Well, what I'm saying is that, the flip side of what's going on in Pop's Kids and with social networking, you do have the internet right now in Detroit. There absolutely has to be a hardcore scene there, and though I know straight edge is not as prominent as it once was, I would imagine that there are straight edge kids in Detroit, and you should be able to find them. So look for them if you truly really feel that the movement is something that you want to be a part of, and you want people who are like-minded to be surrounded with.
Thank you for the call, Josh. That is the voice of Davey Havoc, who is our guest tonight, and he is now an author. Pop Kids is the book he was referring to. It is available everywhere books are sold. Go to popkidsbook.com for more information. 1-800-LOVE 191 is the number. We just helped a young man who's going through young man struggles. Straight ahead, a young girl is going through young girl struggles. We're going to try to get to the bottom of it next on Loveline.
This is Loveline.
Loveline.
The neat way to dispel the problems of the day for a little while.
Don't worry, we'll be back.
I can tell you right now, this may have been a horrible mistake because I don't like crowds, I don't like lines, and I don't like the people that live in my neighborhood. And this is all of those things in one area. Look at this line. Jesus.
In the inside track, wearing the orange racing bib, number 1. It's Soapy Smith. Let's hear the Rachel song.
Boo.
Settle down now, settle down. In the third stall over, wearing the yellow racing bib, number 3. It's Cobalt. Let's hear from Ethan.
This shows you what kind of neighborhood I live in. Like 3,000 people show up for food trucks. And the cops are here. Nothing says food truck festival like a gun. This is sort of unsettling. There's no way this guy doesn't have a boner right now.
On your marks. Get set. And go!
This is the Grill 'em All truck. And I find it hard to believe that Metallica doesn't sue them because they're a little sue happy, if you know what I mean. I also find it hard to believe that this guy would make your burger with regular utensils. Like he wouldn't just use a skull or something.
So I was thinking, for this next race, we should make things a little more challenging for these guys. What do you think?
No!
Keep it the same.
We don't have to if you guys don't want to. Come on, I'm going to ask you one more time. Do you guys want to make things more challenging?
No! Keep it the same! I also don't think it counts when your food truck is a Mercedes. That's not the spirit of the food truck, which is filthy, dirty, gross Mexican food served to construction workers.
There's the bell, and they're off!
You know, it's surprisingly, there aren't a lot of really big fat people here. And I guess it's because fat people don't have the patience to wait in line, because they're in a big hurry to get that food in their mouth. This is the SWAT truck. When I was a kid, there was a TV show called SWAT. They drove around in a brown truck, and every time I saw a UPS truck, I thought it was SWAT, and I got all excited. And then I wondered why they were also delivering packages. This truck is called Slapfish, and they're the masters of sustainable seafood. Like, who gives a shit if they're eco-friendly, if they're slapping fish and serving fish out of a fucking truck? Gross. If these fucking kids would get out of these cop cars, I could sit in there. First thing you notice is not a lot of leg room. Ugh. And the second thing you notice is how difficult it would be to actually swivel your body around and kick out the back window like some perps do. So here's my whole problem with the food truck idea is everybody jumped on this trend that food trucks are so spectacular and so fantastic, but they're really not, because it's food made in a fucking truck, and that's not nearly as good as food made in a restaurant by a real chef. Like, I don't want like ice cream made on a bike. Why would I want food made in a filthy, dirty truck? But it actually smells pretty good. But then again, I also think liver and onions smells good while it's cooking, and I think it tastes repulsive. And in case, hey, hypothetically, if the cops were to recognize you and you were some sort of perp on the run, there's a good place to escape right there. And then you run down this little river drain thing. I don't know why I'm telling you, because this thing is already underway, and by the time you're watching this, you won't have time to get away from these particular cops. So this has been the Food Truck Festival, and I'm making a spectacle of myself right now. What kind of man drives to Las Vegas, pays $200 an hour just to drive in a bulldozer? What kind of man then asks his friend to videotape it, but his friend shows up high and doesn't hit record?
Ladies and gentlemen, Al Picard took the win!
Oh, hold on now. Hold on. We're on the air. Hold on. Davey Havoc just rummaging through the gift bag we give you here at Loveline. And if you know anything about our sponsors, it's a lot of, lubes and sex oils. And
oral sex gel.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good
But
time.
also some all-natural green tea refreshments. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. You heard me correctly. Davey Havoc is our guest tonight, and he has been the whole evening. Davey, thank you so much, man. You're always
Thank you
a
so
great
much
guest.
for having me.
So it's always a real pleasure to have you. He is an author now. Pop Kids is the new book from Mr. Havoc. Sonia, hello.
Hi, it's actually Tanya.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tanya. What's up?
Hi, I actually needed advice on a huge problem I've been having with my best friend. She has a problem with giving out her phone numbers to strangers and very dangerous men. I work with her, and there's these guys next to us who just seem so sketchy, and one time they offered her a free product from their cart. And she said, "Oh, I don't just want to take it. What can I get for you in return?" And she said, the guy said, "Oh, well, if you give me your number, I can give it to my friend who's very interested in you. And the problem is that she has a boyfriend." And she tells him, "Oh, I have a boyfriend. I don't know how he'd be about that." And he'd be like, "Oh, no. It's just as friends." So she gives the guy the number, doesn't know a thing about him. Next thing you know, this guy texts her, and then next thing you know, he's asking her like all these sexual questions.
How old is she?
She's 20.
What do you listen? We're not talking to her. We're talking to you. How can we help?
I want to know how I can approach her about it and give her advice on.
Tell her, take her and shake her hard.
I've tried doing that. I told her, "What were you thinking? Are you stupid?" This guy went as far as telling her, like asking her if she would marry him.
She's unhappy in her relationship.
Something's very wrong with her. Yeah, something's very not right.
I really don't know if.
We don't. Unfortunately, we're not talking to her. We're talking to you, and you can only go so far with this. Only so much you can do.
Also, Sonia, I appreciate that you're trying to play kind of moral compass in that you don't want her giving out numbers when she has a boyfriend.
Compass. It's like sort of personal security guard.
But I feel like Davey and Drew, correct, if you think I'm wrong, tell me. But I feel like if she's not doing things that in turn become dangerous, then it's really kind of none of your business if she wants to cheat on her boyfriend or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell her how you feel, but outside of that, unless she's putting herself in situations where she could get abused or raped or something like that, it's kind of her.
She's implying that she is.
But it doesn't sound like she. It sounds like she's giving out her number to guys she wants to fool around with.
Right.
No, the thing is that she confronted me about it. She told me that she feels uncomfortable but doesn't know how to tell them how to stop, because I feel like she likes the attention. But
Exactly.
I don't
It's all about getting the attention. That's why she doesn't stop it.
Yeah. Because she could just stop responding.
She knows it's dangerous, but she has a problem with...
Okay, we can spin around. We can keep going around and around about this, but we're not talking to her, unfortunately.
Yeah.
She's got to get her in her face.
Thank you, Tanya. Danielle, hello.
Hi.
Hi. You've been on hold a long time. I'm really sorry about that, but we've had a kind of a cram show.
No worries. So I have a question. I am 22. I just recently started dating a guy that's not too much older than me. And about 8 months ago, I got out of a 4-year abusive relationship. And I don't know if this new guy that I'm dating, if I'm putting him up on a pedestal just because he treats me so much differently than my
that's actually a really, really
or
good question.
What's going on?
Danielle, before Dr. Drew answers, abusive physically, mentally, or both?
Both.
Verbally? Okay.
What difference does it make? He's treating you a lot better for the time being, and if it starts to go south, get out of there.
Well, Dr. Drew, you're right. Obviously, if he's not abusive, that's a plus. But it's kind of like, look at it this way. If you came from a job where a guy was like illegally abusive as a boss, then you go out and you just get the only job you can get that the guy doesn't punch you.
Right.
You may think that this is the greatest job ever. In reality, you're making minimum wage with another prick.
Right,
He's just
but
less of a prick.
Is the question, is there a guy out there who'd be even much better for me?
No, the question is am I just so caught up in the fact of actually having a nice relationship for once that I'm making this guy have such high expectations in my mind that in the future it could possibly ruin the relationship because of that, because of my past. Does that make sense?
No.
Look at it this way, Danielle. Does he make you feel really good about yourself?
Yes.
Okay, don't worry about it.
That's what I'm saying.
Give it a shot for now.
Give it a shot for now. If it starts to be not what you thought it was, then okay, fine. A lot of relationships end up not being what you thought they were. But it makes you happy now. He's building you up, makes you feel good. That's fine.
Okay, thank you guys.
All right.
No problemo. Hey, Davey, we were talking a little bit earlier about how it's not necessarily that cool to be in a rock band anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It sure is true.
I really idolized rock and roll acts of all different genres. When I was 13, it was the coolest thing you could possibly do.
It's true.
And nowadays, it's like an iPhone, and a guy who designs apps really is like the new rock star.
A video game.
Or a video game. How have you kind of dealt with that? And in a way, does it really matter to you anymore, or are you just doing it for the music, for the love of it?
I mean, that's the reason that I've always done it. Actually, the form of music that we played never was a form of music that seemed to have any potential of getting any public notoriety on a great scale, or on a worldwide scale, or even a national scale, or any sort of great attention. So it was never our desire or our intention to receive, that sort of public profile. Though it happened, but for the same reason that we began doing it, we continue to do it. And culture, culture constantly shifts. It shifted in a way that allowed the music that we created to reach more people than we ever thought it could. And it shifted away from that. But I mean, when most people who make stuff have to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just make what you have to make.
And it's like, look, if we have to scrape by, you guys, you were there before.
Oh, absolutely.
You were definitely,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we decided to do this, the members of the rock band of AFI, when we decided to do it, was a conscious decision in our minds to issue any sort of normal lifestyle. It's like, okay, I'm going to eat rice every day. There's no way I'm going to have a house. There's no way I'm going to have a family.
Right.
I'm going to live in a van the rest of my life. And that's fine.
Right.
Because I'm going to rock.
No, yeah. It's just like we were telling the kid who was straight. It's just like, analyze the priorities first.
Right. It's just, what you're passionate about.
Davey Havoc has been our guest this evening. The new book is Pop Kids. Go to popkidsbook.com for more information. Davey, again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It's really a
for
pleasure having you.
Been too long.
Thank you.
Dr.
Pleasure.
Drew,
Yes.
I have some very exciting news for you and for the audience, and maybe even for Davey.
Our podcast.
The long talked about podcast that we didn't know if ever was going to see the light of day. It's been edited a bit, and it will be posted later this evening, actually in normal people time tomorrow.
It's worth a listen.
Dr. Drew and I really invested a lot into this. We invested a lot of ourselves into this new podcast. I highly recommend you download the new episode of the Mike and Dr. Drew podcast. Tomorrow night, the epic mealtime, guys. Remember, in this crazy mixed-up world that makes you think that nobody cares, we do. Be good.
This has been Loveline. The opinions expressed on Loveline are not necessarily those of the staff, management, sponsors, or the station. Loveline is produced by Ann Ingle.